Oh my gosh, let me see. Howdy, beautiful people. Princess Berry here. If you are new, and welcome to another episode of me documenting my beautiful life. Anyways, I'm gonna be making some liver with ugali. Yeah, let's get into the cooking, and I hope you're doing amazing. Cause today I feel good, and for the past 2 days I was feeling like shit because I was on my period. Today is day 3, and at least today I can, I can do things. I can do things around the house. I can even cook. The past 2 days was the ghetto. I was in bed the whole fucking time, and it's because of the pain that I was feeling. Like, back pain is not a joke. They never told me this. Back pain is not a joke. So I'm just so glad that today at least I can do something. I can cook. So let's cook because, I'm hungry. Now, Kilio. I'm gonna switch up the sufuria with blended tomatoes. Also has onions. I'm gonna add in my spices, starting off with paprika, some turmeric powder, just a little bit of salt, and then I'm also gonna add a little bit of garam masala, just a little bit. I'm gonna let this cook up nicely. I fried the liver carefully. Oh, that looks yummy already. So I'm gonna let this simmer for like 2 minutes, and then I'll cook my ugali. Let me just show you a close-up of how the food is looking. The liver, I think I'm gonna add a little bit of water, just a little bit of water for the stew, because also my fur babies, I know they're gonna want some. So so I'm gonna let this simmer for like 2 minutes. I'm now gonna set this aside and put the water for ugali, and I have like leftover ugali so I'm gonna also use this. Let me let that boil. Garlic is done. I'm gonna let it cook for like 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and then dinner is ready.
I didn't know where to start. I didn't know where to learn. I didn't know what kind of business to start. And I searched for courses and I took a few and they didn't really make sense. It's like I took a digital marketing course and it taught me about MailChimp and other things. I'm like, what do I do with this? Like, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys now, but like as someone who knew nothing prior, it's like, why am I learning MailChimp? What do you mean email knowledge? But the ins and outs and the opinions, all of the different angles are best learned by just like diving into a new plot yourself. Replicate, they want to survive. So I would pick up tips and tricks from the videos, the books, the whatever. But more importantly, in this environment, if I wasn't building a business.
You know you need an extra minute to find Joshua 14 anyway. Trying to hook you up. But let's see, here we go. Western New York, California, Montgomery, Alabama. You better have a cold or something this week. Watch it online, Brazil. Let's give it up for our evil. Now the people of Judah, I brought him a report according to my convictions. But now then, verse 10. Oh, now then, those two words right there. Now then, just as the Lord promised, he has, just as he said. Let's camp in verse 13 as I give you my message. And reminder today, I want to remind you that this is big.
Go back here, and I've got to go back to the thing. You know, I'm working
on the life that you have. Seneca says, don't think of death as something in the future, something to fear. Think of it as something that's happening. Email or fighting with someone about some nonsense, right? You're afraid of death because you won't do that anymore. How about you just stop doing that and you magically get more life right now? Going back to Cicero, Cicero says that to philosophize is to learn how to die. That's what we're all doing. We're all over the course of a life learning how to do the one thing that we all have to do, the one thing that all humans have shared for all time. And yeah, it seems like, in a sense, by allowing you in, and the real gift that your father gave you all, and then, you know, gives the readers by opening up to a writer, is that he allowed you to experience and struggle with the struggle that we all have, which is being afraid.
Yes. And I mean, that's the through line of the book, well, in part being like life lessons that were taught through the game, and then life lessons in that last year of his life as he's in the final year with ALS. I'm trying to show a portrait of an athlete, which is a different mentality than other mentalities. It's very much a portrait of an athlete, like you said, working through the mindset of who he wants to be and how he's going to, one, accept death and then approach death. And for much of the book, by the time he realizes this, he has completely lost his voice. So there's this section of time, like, for him, because aren't we all just so curious of
Sure.
when someone is finally looking at death and has come to philosophize to the point that they are accepting that death is going to happen? I want to know why and how and what that feels like. But he couldn't talk anymore. And so was trying to piece together small things that he was doing and ways in which he was communicating by blinking, and trying to, in my own mind as the writer of this story, piece together what he must be feeling and thinking and what it all means.
What do you learn from, like, how he lays there and how he holds his head up and, uses his eyes?
Before the hospital was willing to transfer us and make this happen and have all the paperwork done. So it was almost like, I mean, in a way, he's almost like a death row, right? He knows when this is going to happen, but we can't do it yet. So he has this chunk of time. And it was really interesting to me, the things he was bringing up, because even though he couldn't talk, he could mouth something and we could try to read his lips, or we had a system where he could, left eye was yes, right eye was no. And the night before we transferred him to the ICU,
it looks like on the inside. Yeah, so, it's a bottle, like, yes, I have, this is the hair dye developer, and this is the hair dye. So I've already read the instructions on the packaging, and they have, like, this is also another thing that's on the there's nothing else in the box, and I'm supposed to be having, like, gloves. I don't know why there are no gloves. So this is it comes with the instructions leaflets. But I'm wondering what I'm going to do since there are no gloves. Let me apply my excellent jelly, the making jelly around my edges and my scalp so that it can protect it so it doesn't get like any dye. Excuse me, even though I'm not like apply any dye directly on my scalp, but I still have to make sure.
Squeezing out of fear. See, Jacob isn't squeezing Benjamin out of faith. He's squeezing him out of fear. Boy, out of fear. And God is manipulating all of these circumstances to bring this fact better to be healed than to be mad. And Jacob, you've been praying to be bigger. You should have been praying to be better. There's somebody watching me right now. There's no reason in the world that somebody as talented to you as you are should be further than you are. You have the talent to go all the way to the top. But every time you try to go to the top, something blocks you. And God's going to tell you it's not what's on the outside that's blocking you. It's the stuff you carry on the inside that always blocks you because you're so slick. And God has to keep showing you that you ain't as slick as you think you are. And your blessing has been delayed, and you wandered in the wilderness of almost getting there and never being able to get there because you've never been able to get your heart to the place that you could be trusted. God gives favor to people he can trust, but you are so transactional. Everything is a way for you to manipulate. And so you never get better. The Bible says none of the pure in heart shall see God. The word pure in the Greek is where we get the word catheter. And there is no way for you to see God until you put a catheter into your heart and get rid of the bitterness that is blocking you from your blessing. I'm still talking about the bumpy road. Tonight, as I close tonight, I challenge you to look at Genesis 42 and even go on into Genesis 43 and watch God bring Jacob and his boys into a state of blessings.
This is one of the most famous and misunderstood books of all time, and this is one of the most famous misunderstood passages in it. Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor of Rome, writing to himself 2,000 years ago, says, "When you wake in the morning, tell yourself the people I will deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Now, you think this is Stoicism sort of being pessimistic in advance, managing expectations, being a little bit cynical, but that is actually precisely wrong. Although it is true, we will meet annoying and obnoxious and dishonest and shitty people in the course of the day. That's not what Marcus Aurelius wanted to remember. He says, they are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and I have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own. But this is actually the most important. He says, no one can implicate me in ugliness, nor can I feel angry at my relative or hate him. We were born upper and lower. To obstruct each other is unnatural, he said. To feel anger at someone, to turn your back on him, these are obstructions. So yes, there will be annoying, there will be obnoxious people, there will be frustrations today. But your job is to work with those people, to manage those frustrations, to not let shitty people turn you into a shitty person, to not let obnoxious people make you obnoxious. Be prepared for it. And do you think any of this is new? These annoying people, these cruel people, these awful people, the things that are driving you nuts about the world, it has always been like this. Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, a book written almost 2,000 years ago. It's the private thoughts of the Emperor of Rome, never intended to be published. And what we see in it is how often he is having to deal with annoying people, obnoxious people, dishonest people, demagogues. They are an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us.
Alright, I'm done with the chores. Now I want to edit this video. She's so cute, right? Hey, yeah, she's so cute. And Kira is sick. She's actually sleeping. So hopefully she's going to get better. Ooh, where are you going? Hopefully she's gonna get better. Yeah, because she's not feeling well. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye bye. Say bye bye. Bye bye.
I'm proud of you. Keep killing it. Keep doing your thing. There's no ceiling on, your growth. There's no ceiling on your prosperity. It's all in your mind. Whatever you say with your mouth, confess it, and that's that. And then work towards it and keep it moving. And anybody who don't fall in line falls back, and that's that.